Let's take a look at an advanced feature called event groups. If we go into scheduling and then settings, here we can enable event groups. When we turn this on, it will automatically add an event groups tab up here. Now this is kind of an advanced feature, so don't use this unless you need it, but if you need it, it can do some really cool things. Go into event groups now, and here we can create different event groups. So in this case, maybe I'll create an event group called charity events. And once we're in here, we can add in some other properties, like a description, for example, but that's really not necessary at this point. Let's go ahead and add some events to this event group. So maybe Go for Glory here will be a charity event, and therefore, we say we're going to donate the funds, for this that were from this event to charity. And so we'll go ahead and throw that one in there. Let's take a look, and maybe we can pick a few other games that we want to put in there. Maybe this version of Displacement. This will also be a charity event, so we'll go in here and make this one a charity event as well. And so then, as a user coming out to the site, if they go into Find Events and they look up, Go for Glory, they can see that this is now a charity event. It has a special event designation. Also, if they click on charity event, it will list only the different events that are charity events. Likewise, if they were to refresh the page, if they were to come out here and just type in the word charity and do a search on that, it would also show up for charity events. So it's just a good way to kind of give different events a special designation that can be searched and sorted. But that is the bare minimum of what you can do with event groups. So let's take a look at a more advanced usage of them. Again, if we go back into scheduling and to event groups, let's create a new type of event group, and we'll call this special guest event. So imagine that we're going to have some events that are hosted maybe by the publisher or by the author, the game designer, that sort of thing. That's where we would have this. So again, we'll go into events, and maybe we'll go over and we're going to say that Steve Jackson is going to host this copy of Munchkin here. So we'll go in here to edit, and we'll make this a special guest event. It could also be a charity event. You can be in more than one group at a time. But anyway, this is a special guest event. Let's go back up and take a look at some of these other ones. Maybe we also have the author of Rivet Wars going to be in here, and so we'll make that also a special guest event. So we can go through and add as many events as we want to that grouping. And if we go back to our event group here, special guest event, now it shows the different events that are there. But we can also make this group tied to a badge type. So if we do this, what we can do is say that the badge type will determine whether or not you can get into that type of event. So right now we don't have any badge types assigned to this. Let's go over and manage badge types. We've got our various regular badges here, but maybe we want to create a special badge just for this, or maybe you only get this if you get your weekend badge. However you want to do your designation, but you can basically say, I get into X number of these things. So let's go ahead and edit the weekend badge. And you'll see what I'm talking about here. So now there's a new section in here when we edit the badge called event groups, and it shows only the event groups that are limited by a particular, or by badges. So our charity event group does not show up here because everybody can get into a charity event. So let's go ahead and put this badge in here. So now attendees that have this particular badge type will be able to get up to one ticket in the special guest events. So maybe we want them to have access to three different badges or three different tickets with this badge. They can register for up to three different tickets, which means that they could have three tickets to one single special guest event, or they could have three tickets to three different events. Again, that depends on some of the other settings that you have set up in the site as to how many they can get for a single event. But anyway, so now we're putting limits on this. So the cool thing is that when a user goes out to buy this badge, they'll now see that they have three special tickets for special guest events. So, and again, if they click on that, they'll get to see what those events are that they can register for special. And so that's basically the functionality of event groups.